Yeah, thank you, Samuel. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. I smiled because you've graduated me to doctor, and thank you so much for that, Samuel. But I'm still, I'm still very much Martha. So I just want to use this opportunity, first of all, to thank Samuel and his colleagues, and also to thank the AOAC Sub-Saharan chapter, who I see here on this as panelists. And I'm thanking you because this initiative is so timely. I have, for the last 20 something years, been working in the region with many countries, and the challenges that I have seen. One is we tend to overemphasize laboratory data, laboratory testing, the end result. And that in itself becomes a trade barrier when you do not have any science underpinning that end result and being able to interpret it and use it in a way that it serves the dual purpose of protection and trade facilitation. We have also seen that working in a regional economic community where the standards landscape is pretty much said to be harmonized, it's an advantage to that extent, because then you're very sure that the countries have all adopted the same standards for food safety, and then that should mean very much sameness or equivalence. But we find wide variations in the way that these harmonized standards are implemented. And that in itself becomes a regulatory barrier, a trade barrier to the movement of goods across borders. So when there is very limited understanding on the role of labs, for example, how the science from the labs can be used in conformity assessment to inform risk-based inspection systems, or how it can be informed in domestic policy to inform regulatory limits or standards, or inform the guidelines that are harmonized regional-led and are being domesticated, it becomes a barrier because you have different approaches. So this training, for me, I see it as a beginning. And the excitement in the East African community is quite overwhelming, because you've targeted a constituency of laboratory analysts and inspectors, food inspectors, some new to the job, others new institutions that are being revitalized. So when we put out a call, we had almost 100 applications, but we now have 80 analysts participating in this training, and they don't need a lot of encouragement. They are so excited. And they have even formed a platform where they are continuing to share experiences. But it's the beginning, because I want to quickly move, because our program is limited to 4 years, into deeper understanding of the science, using laboratory data and other science that's available to help them understand how standards development and conformity assessment can be implemented in a way that you don't cause trade barriers. I have many examples, but I don't want to take a lot of time, where we've had to deal with trade barriers because of the limited application of science towards implementation of regionally harmonized standards. But that's for another day. Now I just want to thank you, and I look forward to this interaction.